Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to do the plain one colour hexi puffs. You should already know how to do a puff stitch, so we're going to go straight in and I'll show you basically the placements of each of your puff stitches. In the pattern I have abbreviated the placements of the puff stitches to pit, which means place on top of the previous round's puffs, and pim, which means place in the middle of the puffs. So I'll show you that as we get into round 2. So first, and we'll speed through this quickly, we need to do 6 puff stitches into the middle of our magic circle. So there we have round 1. We've got 6 puff stitches, and I've worked 2 slip stitches to get to the middle of our first puff. So our next round, round 2, we need to increase our puffs to 12. So to do that, this is where the placement of the puff stitches are important. We work 1 on top, and then we work 1 in the middle of the puffs. Then again we work 1 on top, 1 in between. I'll show you that quickly now. So do the 1 on top. Sorry. So you can see there we've got the puff stitch directly on top, and it uses the chain 1 where we close off the puff to do that. So next one, we're going to work in between the 2 puffs. So put 1 on top and 1 in between. The next one you can see will work here. That will be the next pit stitch. I'll just show you a close-up. You can see quite clearly there that the first one's worked on top, the second one's worked in between the 2, and the third one is on top. Our 4th stitch works in between again. And I'll leave you to go around going 1 on top, 1 in between, 1 on top, 1 in between until we get round, and then we'll count our stitches and make sure that we have got 12. So I've finished round 2, and you can see here I've got 12 puff stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just going to close the round off. So I do a slip stitch and then slip stitch into the top of the first puff. Chain 2 to start round 3. Round 3 we're going to increase by a further 6 stitches, and so we'll have 18 puffs. To do that, we first do 1 puff on top where we created our chain stitch, chain 2. So we'll create 1 puff stitch there. We then do 2 pim stitches, so puffs in the middle, and those go here and here, either side of this puff stitch, so we don't work onto the top of this one. So we go 1 pit stitch, 1 pim, 2 pim. We miss this pit here. Then we place on top for this one, and then we do 2 pims again, pim and pim. I'll start off the round to show you. So we'll do the one on top first. So that's your pit stitch, your first. Then we'll do our 2 pim. So doing 2 pim doesn't mean to do 2 puffs in this stitch. It means to do 1 this side and 1 that side, and not work in the top. So that's one of the pin stitches. So I go into the other and do the other pin this side. You can see there we've got one on top, 2 pins either side. We then work one on top again and 2 either side here. So I'll leave you to do that and go around and we'll count our puffs, and we should have 18 at the end. So we're back at the end of row 3 where we've now got 18 puff stitches. So you can see on each section we've got one on top, 2 either side, 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 one on top, and then we end with 2 either side. We do a slip stitch to join, and then a slip stitch to get us into the top of the first puff again. We then chain 2 to start round 4. In round 4 we increase to 24 puffs. To do this, we again do 1 puff stitch on top where our chain 2 started us off. We then do 2 pins either side, 1 pin, 2 pin, then we do 2 puffs on top, 1, 2, then we again do 2 either side, 1, 2, 2 on top, 2 either side. I'll do the first one and then leave you to do the repeats. So there we have our first pit. Then we're going to work the 2 pins either side. So we've got our 2 either side, we do our 1 on top, we then have to do another 1 on top, so we miss the middle, just go straight to the next top stitch. Sorry. There we go, so then we repeat this process around. When we come to the end, because we've already done this 1 puff on top, we do 2 pins and 1 pin, and then we join, and that finishes us off with 24 stitches, puffs. So you can see there's 1 on top, 2 either side of this puff, 2 on top, and then we'll do 2 either side and 2 on top again, all the way around. So I'm at the end of row 4 and I've got 24 puffs. Row 5 we need 30. So as always we start by doing 1 pit stitch where we've created our chain 2. We then do 4 pin stitches, so 4 middle stitches. 1, 2 in the middle, 3 in the middle, 4 in the middle. We then work 1 on top, followed by another 4 in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 on the top, 4 in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 on top, 4 in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 on top, 4 in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4 on top, and then 4 in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that will take you back to the starting chain. if you can see, you kind of get a straight line of all the stitches that are worked on top. So it becomes a kind of a repeat pattern. If you can see this, they're all stitches that have been worked on top of the previous stitch, and the ones in between are the pin stitches. So row 5, as I've just shown you, and then row 6 is similar again, as in we slip stitch to join, chain 2, create 1 pit on top, and then we do 5 in between. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in between each puff stitch, and then 1 on top. And then that will give you 36 in row 6, and then that's the end, and then we tie off. So you see they're quite easy to make once you understand where the stitches are placed and how to place them. So you can go off and make your plain hexie puffs, and then it's not that much of a leap to create patterns like my unicorn and my rainbow. And then currently I'm now working on some Christmas designs for a Christmas blanket. It's my reindeer. I've got a couple here that are starting to join up. But I think I'm going to do a different border on these. And there we go. That's all my motifs that are going to be in my next blanket design. So I hope you enjoy making that one colour hexie, and it inspires you to give a go at ones with images and colour changes. Thank you for watching.